Hello, my angels, and welcome back. Today, I want to talk about how to get what you want in life. We're going to be talking about the routines. We're going to be talking about the mindset. Your mind creates your reality, and I'm going to be talking you through it all step by step. We have 6 different steps here. Now, this isn't just pick your goal and manifest it. I'm going to be talking about things that you might want to come back to later on, because this is a whole journey, right? To get what you want and to achieve the life that you want and to become the best version of you, or whatever it is that you want to change in your life. It is a journey, and there are going to be certain hurdles and hiccups on the way of that journey. And I have been through them all many times over. And so I'm going to teach you everything that I have learned. And step number 1 is responsibility. This, for some people, I think at the beginning of your journey, this is probably the most difficult one. Once you've done this a few times and you've smashed a couple of goals, or you've been through it a few times, it's easier. But at first, this can be quite difficult. I want you to take responsibility of where you are right now and stop blaming other people. We have to accept where we are and know that our life is a product of the actions that we have taken so far. This isn't about beating yourself up. This isn't about tearing yourself down or getting annoyed at yourself. I'm not talking about the emotional side. I'm talking about the side of, okay, I am here in life because of the experiences that I've had and the actions that I've taken. I'm not going to sit and dwell in it, but I am going to take responsibility of it so I can take responsibility moving forward. Until you take responsibility of past situations. Now, obviously, I know that not all situations are completely our fault. It's not about fault. It's not about blaming. It's about saying, okay, I can take control moving forward. If your environment has a control of your emotions, you are in victim mentality. And when you're in victim mentality, you cannot take a control of your life moving forward. So when you are triggered in your life, the reason that you know this, right? This is how you know that you're in victim mode. When something triggers you, when another person triggers you, or something happens that doesn't feel great, do you go into this place of heightened emotions and reaction? Okay, so instant reaction of things. It controls the other things that you do in your life. It makes you want to hit the self-sabotage button. It makes you want to procrastinate things. You don't feel good in all the other areas. You can't keep a balance of the areas of your life because your environment and the people and things around you have such a control of your emotions. That means you don't have control. You take your power back by knowing that you have control of your emotions moving forward, and you don't react, you respond, right? When somebody does something that triggers you, when your environment triggers you, you take a step back, you regulate your emotions. You can look up nervous system regulation. You can do this through meditation. You can do this just by sitting with yourself, right? We don't react quickly. We respond in a way that is going to drive us forward. So we take a step back, we listen to how we are feeling, and we decide how we're going to handle this moving forward, which is the best case scenario. We don't want people to have a control of our emotions so much, because then they have power over you. You want to take your power back by taking responsibility of how you feel, instead of going, this person made me feel this way, this person did this, so that's why I reacted in this way, that's why I don't have a hold of my life because of this person or that person or what they did to me. Okay, that's what they did to you, so you're going to continue to let that have a control of you. I get that this is a difficult one to get your head around, right? It doesn't mean you have to forgive. I think one of the biggest thing in the spiritual healing community is, oh, I forgive. It doesn't mean you have to forgive. It means you have to move away from. You have to stop feeding that energy of the people that are around you that you feel are disrupting your reality. They're disrupting your reality because you're allowing them to disrupt your reality. You're allowing them to take a hold of how you feel rather than taking a step back, taking responsibility of your actions moving forward. You can't help what happens to you, but you can take responsibility of what you are going to do moving forward. It's not your fault what happened to you in the past, but it is your responsibility to handle it moving forward. So the first thing I want you to do is take responsibility of where your life is and start to look at where you react instead of respond to people and to things around you. That's the first thing you want to do. And then you can see, you can kind of take a bird's eye perspective if you want. You can take a step back and look at your life, how things are playing out. Do you keep feeding the negativity in your life? Do you keep reacting in a way that is going to positively impact you or negatively impact you? The way to deal with certain situations. So if you are pointing the finger, you're in victim mentality and you're pointing the finger at other people, they have a control of your emotions. You want to stop feeding it. You want to stop feeding that emotion. When that person does something, it may be someone from your past, it may be someone that you have to stay in communication with, like a family member or someone associated to your family. When they trigger you, you want to take a step back enough to say, okay, this emotion is not going to lead what I do next. It is my responsibility and it is in my control of what I do and how I handle this situation. I can go completely off the rails and that's going to then affect my life. Or I can discuss this and this person, it might not get through to them, right? It might not get through to this person. That's fine. You've done what you can and allowed yourself to settle your own feelings so you don't respond in a continuous way that affects the rest of your life. Oh, I'm not going to go to the gym today now because they upset me, right? So you're going to not pour into your own health and nurture yourself because of what somebody else has done. You're allowing them to have control of you. You're not going to get up and work hard on your business because you're tired and exhausted because of the boundaries that somebody else has pushed. You allowed them to push that boundaries. Now is the time to put up that boundary completely, not allow them to drain your energy, take a step back and focus on the things that you need to, right? It's taking responsibility. Then we move into the second one. Now, that is the hardest one. When you first start this journey, when you continue on this journey, it becomes easier because you don't point the finger and you understand that hurt people and that you are choosing to be in a certain type of environment. A lot of the time, I know I keep going back to this one, right? I keep going to move to the second one, but there's so much to say on this because a lot of the time we blame other people. Oh, I can't move forward because of this and because of that, when actually we're clinging on to it ourselves. You're blaming them, but you're holding on to them saying, oh, I can't do it because of this. Let go and move on into the second one, which is the goal. What is the goal? What is it that you want to achieve? What is it that you want to change? And if you don't know what your exact goal is, first of all, I'd try and pick one. But if you don't know what it is, what's the feeling? How would you prefer to feel in your life? I know when I was in a really difficult place, I didn't really know what the goal was. All I knew is that I really wanted to help other people. I knew I had to help myself first. And I just wanted to feel happier. I just wanted to not be so hard on myself and create a life that I felt I had more freedom in. But I didn't really know what that looked like, right? So a lot of the time when people talk about manifestation, they'll say, visualize it, visualize it. You might not know what that looks like yet. So base it upon a feeling. Base it on what would you prefer to feel like? Because that you do have control over. Your thoughts are not facts, but they govern your feelings. So when you start to think in a certain way, it brings up certain emotions. You do have control of those thoughts. But you can only take control of the thoughts that you have when you know how you would prefer to feel. You keep feeding this negative energy around you, then that's what you're going to continuously get. Okay, I don't want to feel negative. I want to feel like the glass is half full. Now, also, it's important to not feed into toxic positivity when it comes into a feeling as a goal. So we don't want to avoid how we're really feeling. So we might say, I am happy and positive, and you start with those affirmations each day. But if it's bringing up other things, we want to recognize those things and not just cover them up with positive affirmations. Okay, so if it is a feeling that you're basing your goal on, when you are striving towards that goal of feeling more healthier in your life. Say, I want to feel healthier in my life. I want to feel more content in my life. When you're striving towards that goal, you don't want to ignore the other feelings that are coming up. We want to bring them to the surface and feel them in order to heal them. If you want help with this, then you can look at my website. I've got loads of programs on there, especially Release and Reframe. We've got a free version of that on there too, that can help you to deal with your emotions and to deal with your mindset and get you into a space where you start to know what it is that you actually want. The more you clear your mind, the more you will discover who you are. And when you start to discover who you are, you can discover what your passions are and what you enjoy in life, right? And we don't know what we want sometimes. And the reason we don't know what we want is because we're so consumed with the things that we don't want. We keep choosing the things that we don't want. My mum used to always say to me, you might not know what you want, but you know what you don't want. Right? You know what you don't want. So stop accepting those things. You don't want a bad relationship. Stop accepting the bare minimum. You don't want an unhealthy life. You don't want to get out of breath when you're running with your children. Then do the opposite of what you are doing currently. Stop accepting that this is the way you are. Stop accepting that you are unhealthy. And start to feel into a new life for yourself. Start to tell yourself, I'm not going to accept that. I'm not going to accept the bare minimum. I'm not going to accept that I am at this unhealthy weight or unhealthy state in my life. I'm not accepting this. Stop accepting the things that you don't want. That's how you find your goals. Because you're continuously keeping yourself in a place that you don't want to be in. You're accepting the things that you don't want, the job that you don't want to be in. You're accepting that. And people then just bob along in their life without any improvement. Stop accepting it and start to say, I deserve more. And start to clear your mind. And by clear your mind, you want to be doing the things that don't overwhelm you. Going for a walk is not overwhelming. Don't put your headphones in when you go for a walk, by the way. I see people do this a lot, right? If you're going for a walk to clear your head and figure out who you are and what you want out of life, and you're putting your headphones in, you're drowning out the noise. We actually want the noise to come into our mind so we can figure out what it is that we want. Now, you might know what you want. You might know that there's a specific business. You might know the business that you want. What you're going to do with this second part of goal, the action that you're going to take is you're going to decide what you want. And then we're going to go into number 3, which is action. So you're going to take the action on the thing that you want. So if you decide that the thing that you want is to do with a feeling, you're going to take action on doing the thing that makes you have that feeling. That's going to get you to your end goal. If you know that you want a business, you're going to take action on that business every single day. Now, there's 2 types of action. The first type of action is consistent, aligned action. So you're going to take your goal and you're going to think of the things that are going to get you there. What can I do every day that is going to achieve that goal? If your goal is I want to get healthier and fitter, okay, 5 times a week I'm going to go to the gym. 5 times a week I'm going to make sure that I'm eating very, very clean, or whatever it is for you. If you know that your aligned action is I want to feel more clear-minded and happier in my life, what thing can you do every day that makes sense? What makes you happy every day? Okay, I actually feel quite happy when I'm drawing. Draw. Then draw every day. Do the things that make you happier. So you want to pick 3 things that are aligned action that you can do every day. You want to grow social media? Okay, I'm going to make sure that I put effort into my content, right? So you want to take consistent, aligned action that makes sense. And then we want to go into the second part of action, which is intuitive action. This is really important. The route to where we want to go doesn't always make sense. And we don't always know how to get there. But what will know how to get there is your intuition. Your wisdom within you will know how to get there. That higher self will know It cut off there for some reason. Hopefully it's come back okay now. So the second part is the intuitive action. So you may not feel like you know exactly what to do all the time, but your intuition will know. There will be things that you are being guided to do that you're not taking action on because they don't make sense to your goals. And those things I find 9 times out of 10 are going for a walk or going to the gym or drinking more water. It's usually health related, because the more healthier you are, the more you're connected to yourself. It might be the small actions that you need to take. You feel like you need to write. You don't know why, but you keep thinking, I need to journal about that. I need to journal. That's the intuitive action. When you get those random moments in the day and you think, I really feel like posting something on my social media, you get rid of the fear, right? And you do it. You take the intuitive action. So we've got aligned action that's consistent, that we're doing as much as we can, and it's repetitive. And then we have intuitive action, which is when you get this pull, this spark to do something, you just do it. You don't overanalyze it. You don't overthink it. You don't think about how it's going to make sense to your goals. You just do it. You've told the universe, this is what I want. You've told God or the universe, whatever you believe in, and you're telling your subconscious, this is what I want. So they are going to give you downloads and give you things that is going to push it forward to get you there. So therefore, that's where the intuitive action comes in. It's those little sparks of things that we keep putting off, that we're not sure if we should do it, or we know we should do it, but we keep putting off doing them. So you want to take, the third one is taking aligned action and intuitive action. Number 4. Now, this is why I said at the beginning about coming back to this video, because as you continue on this journey, like I said, getting what you want out of life is a whole journey. And as you continue on that, once you know what you're doing every day, you get used to the balance, you start to go for the things that you want and take that intuitive action even when you have fear, and you're taking responsibility of where your life is right now. You know what you want to achieve and you're consistently doing it. This is where the procrastination may creep up on you. So you will start to feel like you want to put things off. You may be doing something consistently for a couple of months, and you'll start to slowly fall off the bandwagon. The reason for this is your subconscious mind, which runs 95% of your life, right? So you've got your conscious, which is your everyday, and then you've got your subconscious, which we're going to call the giant memory bank. The giant memory bank stores everything. It's got everything in it. Your past lives, your experiences, all experiences from your childhood that you don't remember, all the things that have happened in your life, and all your thoughts are in your subconscious. That's 95%. That is what is leading you. That is your automation, right? It's the automatic. You find a lot of people with habits. We're talking about smoking, right? As a habit. Most people that smoke won't even realize they've smoked a whole cigarette. It's just automation. They do it automatically. You might have a cup of coffee and a cigarette in the morning. You automatically go downstairs, put the kettle on. You don't think about it. You just do. You just do it. Because that is what you have trained yourself to do. It is a pattern. The mind that leads the body and leads your life stays in a pattern. And what happens when we start to change that pattern? The mind goes, oh my God, life is changing. What is happening? Why are we changing things? It doesn't know the difference between good and bad either, right? So all it knows is that we're changing stuff. And once you start to do something for about 3 months, especially when it comes to your health, you start to notice the difference within that time. And your business, anything, and your work, whatever it may be for you. After about 3 months is when you really start to, in my experience, see the differences or start to notice or feel it. That's the point that the subconscious goes, oh, we're changing something. We're changing a pattern. It likes to be stuck, the subconscious. It likes to stay in the same place, even though you might not want to. Consciously, you don't want to be here anymore. This is not what you want to do in your life anymore. You want to go into new heights and discover new things. The subconscious is going, this is different, this isn't right, this isn't familiar. And so we have to break the pattern down. So you're going to start to put things off. You're going to start to procrastinate things. And there will be many reasons in the subconscious for this. One being that it likes to stay uncomfortably comfortable. Comfortable to the subconscious is staying in the loop, staying in the pattern. It's what's familiar to it. It's not what's good for it, because it doesn't know the difference between good and bad. It's just what is familiar. Right? So you're going to start to feel like you want to give up. You are going to come up with so many excuses. I haven't got time. We had time before. Oh, so-and-so done this. This is where we go back to responsibility, right? So-and-so done this. This happened. I can't do it anymore. You can do it. Your mind is trying to stop you. We have to reframe the mind. Quite literally, I will say to myself, fuck your excuses. Often I will say to myself, fuck your excuses, because they are just excuses that are trying to keep you in the same pattern. But actually you want to change your life. You want to improve your life. You want to do things that are different, which is why you're watching this video, right? You want to get what you want. But the mind, the subconscious, wants to stay where you are. You have to push past it. Your mind is so powerful. You have to fight it. You have to push past the thoughts that are keeping you in the pattern of where you have once been. And you will find that at this time when you are procrastinating, there will be thoughts coming from your subconscious to the surface of why you should no longer do this thing. Use this as an opportunity. So when you get a thought come up that tells you, I can't go to the gym today. Oh, I can't be bothered today. I'm too tired. Oh, I haven't got time. You want to sit and ask yourself why. You want to sit, take a step back again. This is where we're taking responsibility of our own actions and the actions that we're taking. Action is very important. So we want to take a step back and go, why do I keep saying there's not enough time? Why am I not finding it? Why am I not even just doing 10 minutes? Like, why am I stopping myself? Yeah, okay, there are busy things in my life, but what about me is not making that time? Keep asking yourself why, and I tell you now, you'll come up with a belief, a limiting belief that is stopping you. And it will usually be something like, I don't deserve it. I don't deserve to change my life, or I'm not worthy of it, or I don't look good enough. If it's health that you're working on and you've been going to the gym, you might find that after a while you end up sitting outside for like an hour before you actually go in. Why? Ask yourself, why do I do that? Why am I doing that? Because I feel fat or ugly or too skinny, or I don't feel good enough. It will come back down to worthiness and how you view yourself. Use the procrastination as an opportunity to pull the limiting beliefs to the surface and tell those limiting beliefs, we no longer want to think this way. And the only way you can do that is if you pull them up. This is where I said before about toxic positivity. Being positive and then ignoring the negative thoughts that come in. We want to recognize those negative thoughts. So when you start to put something off, ask yourself, why am I actually putting this off and not making the time or not finding a way to get this done? And if it comes up with a limiting belief to do with your self-worth, you're going to work on that belief. You're going to flip that belief and you're going to start to say to yourself, literally say to yourself, this is no longer my story. I am now worthy enough and I am going to do it. Fuck the excuses, and I am going to make time. And you'll have that little period for a while, right, of that procrastination. Once you push past that, that's when you'll start to see the breakthrough. The reason the subconscious does this is, like I said, because it doesn't want the change. So when this starts to happen, when you start to feel uncomfortable, that is such a good sign, because it means change is coming. It means there's a positive impact about to occur in your life. And the mind knows that, which is why it's going, whoa, 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 slow down. You don't slow down at this point. That's when you work harder. That's when you push through it. Number 5, once we've got through the procrastination, we enjoy the journey. And this is what will also help you get through the procrastination. Enjoy where you are right now. Stop thinking too far ahead into the future and start appreciating the journey of what you are doing and where you are right now. Enjoyment and gratitude is going to heighten your vibration, and it's going to make you want to do it more. You're never going to be able to fully get rid of emotion, right? That's the whole reason we're here. It's part of our purpose, is to fully experience every emotion in life, right? The joy, the euphoria, the happiness, the sadness, the jealousy, all those things, all those emotions. We're supposed to experience them. It doesn't mean we have to live in them. It doesn't mean we have to stay there. We're never going to stay there, because feelings and emotions always transmute and they always evolve and change all the time. We flow into different ones. So we have to not react from all those emotions and choose which ones we're going to feed and which ones we're going to heighten, right? You can't fully get rid of them, but you can accept it. Okay, I accept that today I feel tired. I don't want to pour into my business or my health. I don't want to do that because I feel sad. We accept that their sadness is there, but I am so grateful that I get to choose whether I pour into my business or not today. I am so grateful that I have this choice. I am so grateful of everything I have achieved so far. And the more you pour into that gratitude and that appreciation of an acceptance of feeling the way that you do, the more likely you are going to want to keep going and do it. Enjoy the process of becoming. Because let me tell you, once you reach that goal, you're going to set another one and you're going to go through all this again and again and again. And yes, it does get easier. It gets a lot easier. And you start to see and learn from your mistakes and learn from the failures. So the next time you set a goal, you know, my procrastination is an issue that I have because of my worthiness. So I know that that's going to be a roadblock that I come to, but I'm ready for it now. I'm ready to overcome it again. And it will be in another aspect, right? It'll be another aspect of your self-worth. But these things will continue, and that's part of the healing process. It doesn't mean we have to stay in it. And it gets easier because we get the results. And we're like, I know, you become resilient. That's what the word I'm looking for. You become resilient to the emotions and the things that life throws at you. Sometimes it's not self, it's the things around you, right, that are occurring and are happening. And we just accept them. We take responsibility that we're what we can do and how we react or respond, but we become resilient to the things that are going on in life so that we can then appreciate where we are. I think a lot of the time as well, people will be going for a goal, deciding what they want, getting what they want, and when they start to really get there, it will feel uncomfortable, like from the procrastination or from self-sabotage or from whatever it is. It will start to feel uncomfortable. It's not supposed to be comfortable. It's going to feel weird because you're changing and you're changing your mindset. Growth isn't comfortable. I say it in every single video. And so when you start to feel like, I don't feel good enough for this, or this doesn't feel right for me anymore, is it that it doesn't feel right for you? Or is it because there is change occurring and it no longer feels comfortable for you? You're pulling up the roots and you're rebuilding a whole foundation, right? So it's not going to feel great all the time. That is not a sign that is not meant for you. It is a sign that you are growing and you are evolving. So deal with it. Deal with that emotion by accepting it. Deal with that experience that is happening around you by accepting it and being grateful for the experiences that you are having moving forward. Be grateful for the journey. Okay, I've learned this now. I've learned when I up level, this is how people around me react. So the next time I up level, I'm going to learn from it and I'm going to keep my goals to myself. Whatever it is for you, there's going to be different lessons through each failure. There's going to be failures. There is going to be failures. You are going to have days where you don't want to do those goals. It doesn't mean you have to not do them for a whole week. It just means that was a day that you didn't pour into the aligned action, but tomorrow you're going to do it. And you are going to do it. You're not going to allow it to go months on end, because then you reset right back to the beginning. And then we have to take responsibility for that. We've already taken responsibility for it, so we don't want to have to start from the beginning again. So you pick yourself up, you brush yourself off, and you keep moving forward, and you be grateful for the lessons that you have learned in the ups and in the downs, in the highs and in the lows. Then I want to move into number 6, which is self-sabotage. This is something that's going to occur as much as procrastination is, that you will feel like you want to go back to your old patterns, and not, it's similar to procrastination, right? And you might want to, some people might click a self-destruct button and go fully back. If this does happen on this process, which if you are, let me tell you, if you are changing your life completely, if you are completely transforming all areas of your life and you are not in a good place, you will notice that the decisions that you have made have not benefited your life. And so this may be drink, this may be drugs, this may be toxic relationships, trauma bonds, you know, a variation of different things. You've chosen to, no, you didn't choose what that person done to you, but you have chosen to continue to put yourself into certain situations, or you have continued to pick up the drink or the drugs or go back to the person that you know is going to hurt you, right? So you have chosen certain things. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's your fault. It's your responsibility. Let's remember that. It is easy to go back to that. As somebody that has been in those places, it is actually easier to go out drinking for a whole weekend than it is for me to sit at home and deal with my thoughts and deal with past traumas and heal from them and pour into my business and spend hours on end creating things that are going to benefit my business. I love doing those things. Don't get me wrong. I love doing them. But with your passion comes the opposition of that. I love it. But sometimes, I'm not going to lie to you, sometimes it is damn hard. It would be easier for me to go out for a whole weekend and get completely shit-faced. We'll think about it on Monday. That's easier. It doesn't mean it's the right route. That's the self-sabotage. Because usually we blame everything else then. Oh, so-and-so invited me out. Oh, I shouldn't have listened to them. Oh, it's their fault, is it? No, it's your responsibility to do the things that you need. Now, I'm not saying don't drink completely. Like, everyone is different, what they can tolerate. I'm not saying that you can't go and enjoy yourself. Like, yes, go out, go enjoy yourself, go on your holidays, go out for the evening, have dinner, have drinks if you want to. What I'm saying is don't do it to a point that it's going to sabotage all your efforts. There's a difference between going out and enjoying yourself for an evening and going on a complete 4-day bender. There is a difference between skipping 1 gym or 2 gym sessions. And don't get me wrong, I skipped 4 last week because I had a bad shoulder. I could say that was an excuse. That was an excuse. That's okay. I skipped 4 days. I needed recovery. And now I'm back at it. And I'm getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning and I'm ensuring that I'm going. That's fine. It's fine to have a slip up. What is not okay is to sabotage it to the point that you either upset people around you or you destroy what you have already created. If it is going to affect everything that you have built or are building, it is not worth it. That is then self-sabotage. If it's going to affect the things that you're building, then it's self-sabotage. And we want to recognize why we do that. Again, it's the same as procrastination. It will go back to you not being worthy enough of it. So until you work on your mindset, you won't get to those goals, or you'll get to those goals and it'll be so damn hard to hold on to them because your mindset is wanting to stay in the same place of old patterns. So we can keep striving towards our goals, but you will find that you will self-sabotage and you'll be reset back again. You will procrastinate and you won't get things done because you don't believe you are worthy of them. And until you start believing that you are worthy of them, it's going to be so hard to hold it. And I see this with so many people, right? They're working really hard on their goals and what they want to do and eliminating the drink problems or whatever it may be, but they're not working on their mindset. To work on your mindset is part of aligned action and intuitive action. So when you look at your goals and then you look at your aligned and intuitive action, like I said, part of that intuitive action will be taking care of your health. Because taking care of your health is nurturing yourself. And nurturing yourself is ensuring that you don't sabotage everything you have created, because you love yourself too damn much to let yourself destroy it. So this is where the intuitive action comes in. I feel like I need to do mirror work, shadow work. I feel like I need to drink more water and take care of my body. I feel like every morning I need to say some affirmations. They're going to reprogram the subconscious mind. Say you're working on your finances and your money, and something within you, your intuition is telling you to do money affirmations. Part of you might go, oh, it's only affirmations, like it's not going to make a difference. Listen to it, try it, because that's what's going to do the mindset work. And when we start to do the mindset work, your energy starts to shift. You then don't care as much about what other people are doing. You don't care as much. You're not triggered as much by them, or you may be triggered, but you know how to handle it because you're regulating yourself and you're putting positive affirmations and positive things into your mind. That's the 6 things that I have. I hope that has helped you. We've got taking responsibility, choosing your goal, taking aligned and intuitive action, working on your procrastination, fuck your excuses. Then we've got enjoying the journey, and then we've got recognizing self-sabotage. And you want to keep going back through those, right? And when you get to that self-sabotage, go back to the responsibility, go back to what I said about procrastination, asking yourself why. Why do I want to sabotage my life? Why do I want to sabotage this? Because the pattern is used to it. So what do we need to feed our soul to make us feel worthy enough of getting what we want and getting what we deserve and what we desire? It is also important to remember that what we want usually has to be something that we can take control over. So say that, just before I end this, say that what you want is a relationship with XYZ. Part of that is that person's control too. So XYZ, so say Bob, you want a relationship with Bob. Bob has control of that too, okay? What you would want to say instead, so you have full control over it, is I want this is where we go to the feeling, right? I want a loving, respectful, loyal relationship. Say you want to win the lottery, okay? You want to win the lottery. You don't have control of the lottery. What you do have control of is how you think about money. I want to have a more positive mindset when it comes to money, and I know money can be attracted to me. Money is an unlimited resource. So yes, you might not have control on where the money comes from, but it is an energy form, right? So I know that I am now open to receiving more money. Me and money have a mutual love and respect for each other. That's fine. But when you choose goals that have too much impact from someone else, is control, that's when you want to reevaluate why you want that, right? Because if you want a loving relationship with Bob, but Bob is avoiding you and ignoring you, you have to ask yourself, why would you want a relationship with someone that's ignoring you and avoiding you, right? And then we need to heal that. So I hope that helped. Lots of love and light to you, my darlings. Please subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Please comment below, and I appreciate you all. I've just hit 102. So I'm really happy about that. I know a lot of people would say that that's not many, but I've just hit 102 subscribers and I am buzzing about it. So thank you everyone for subscribing, liking, commenting. I really do appreciate it, and I will see you in the next video.